Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Charleston, and welcome you guys to another episode of Dreamerspro Show, where we cover everything from sports, hot topics, classic debates, entertainment, where we give you guys a fresh perspective on things and how we see them. And in today's episode, the topic is, was Nick Wright and Shannon Sharpe, or were Nick Wright and Shannon Sharpe wrong about Kawhi Leonard so far? So that's the topic I want to get into in today's video. But before we get into that, I want you guys to please make sure you go ahead and hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and hit the notification bell to be notified whenever we drop our content. Also, the Dreamerspro Max community is finished. We're launching it now. I know we've said it like a billion gazillion times, but it is coming out. So be on the lookout for that. And also be on the lookout for our Dreamerspro.com, which we'll be working on after that. So we can move on to something else. Anyway, let me get into this topic here. So we all know Shannon Sharpe, right? Shannon Sharpe is a very famous, very accomplished former NFL football player. You know, multiple-time Pro Bowler. He was inducted into the NFL Hall of Fame in 2011. He's a three-time Super Bowl champion. So listen, Shannon Sharpe was very accomplished in his field, and we all know that. I mean, we all know that. Nick Wright, on the other hand, is a TV person. He's a TV personality, and he's a talk show host. Now, you see him on his show, of course, First Things First, which he used to host. I think with a former NFL player, and Chris Carter. I think former Hall of Famer. Chris Carter, I think he was in the Football Hall of Fame, if I'm not mistaken. They used to host that show together. But ultimately, Chris Carter ended up leaving for reasons that I'm unsure of. And now Nick Wright has become sort of the face of that show. So we know who these two guys are. Now, listen, I like Shannon Sharpe personally. I like the guy a lot. I think Shannon Sharpe is very funny. When he first started the show, it took me like probably 2 episodes to realize just how funny he was. And then after that, I was like, man, this dude is really funny. So Shannon Sharpe is very funny. He's very charismatic. He usually makes good arguments, especially like on social issues. If you go back and search through Undisputed, their channel, you'll see those videos that have social issues, maybe around Colin Kaepernick and other things, around kneeling or different things. You'll see that those videos have the most views, like, cause I mean, or even when he spoke about O.J. Simpson and different things, I think that's where he really shines, because you can see his passion for those particular topics come out, right? But then also you see him do really well with him and Skip Bayless when they argue about LeBron, or even when they argue about football, like the Cowboys and things like that, or Tom Brady. Those are also very topics that he does really good on. However, Shannon Sharpe, there's one thing I don't like about Shannon Sharpe, is that he's just a fan. He's so much of a fanboy for LeBron, man. Listen, I like Kawhi Leonard. I like Kobe Bryant, right? Y'all know this. But I think, as you guys can tell, there's a limit. Like, you're not going to see me like, banging on the desk and, fighting with people and getting at other people and this and this and this and this. They're huge. Shannon Sharpe is a huge fanboy. But the difference is, what happens is, because he loves LeBron so much, what he starts to do is he starts to try to talk down other players and make other players seem like they're less than who they are, just because he loves LeBron so much. That's the thing I don't like about it. He tries to belittle other guys just because he loves LeBron. That's the thing that kind of gets on my nerve. And listen, some people can make the argument that, listen, Skip Bayless is a fanboy of Michael Jordan, and there's some truth to that. Every day you see Skip Bayless, he comes to the show. I follow Skip Bayless on Instagram. Every day he posts the same picture with him and Jordan, saying, "I can't lose in these shoes." Right? Skip Bayless doesn't hide the fact that he's a huge, and he said, no, not huge. He said he's probably the biggest Michael Jordan fan on the planet. Skip Bayless has said that numerous times. But in this case, we're not really talking about Skip Bayless. Some people have said, well, why don't you do a video about Skip Bayless? We probably will. Want to have a good enough topic idea. We definitely will. Now, Nick Wright, on the other hand, he's just annoying across the board. I don't think Nick Wright is funny. I don't think he's charismatic at all. I think Nick Wright is just annoying. Right? And he says a lot of things that are cringe-worthy. Shannon Sharpe, you can kind of live with him because he's funny, but Nick Wright, the stuff that he says, man, is a little bit too much. I remember when Kobe, the late and great Kobe Bryant, was alive, and him and Jim Jackson, the former basketball player, they would be on the show arguing. And he was just like, Nick, like, you're making all these arguments against Kobe. You're trying to cook up these stats because you're trying to make an argument against the guy. And Jim Jackson was like, no, Kobe is that dude. And the thing that he hates is when former NBA players would pick Kobe over LeBron. That's the thing that would irk him the most. Most NBA players that went on these shows always pick Kobe, and that's the part that Nick Wright couldn't stand. And all of a sudden, the guy passes away. Now you have nice things to say. Trust me, if Kobe was still alive, he would still be on that train. That's the thing about Nick Wright. Also, the thing about the hate that he has for Kawhi, I think is a little bit too much. And the reason Shannon Sharpe and Nick Wright have this type of hate for Kawhi is because they feel like in some way he threatens LeBron. You're not going to see Nick Wright going at let's say Damian Lillard or Ben Simmons, because he knows that they're no threat to LeBron, right? So he's not going to be going at them. He's going to say nice things about them because they're no threat. But he knows Kawhi Leonard was a legitimate threat. These guys have met in the finals, and like as if LeBron and Kawhi never met in the finals, right? They were both on stacked teams. Kawhi got the better of him once, and LeBron got the better of Kawhi with that magnificent shot that Ray Allen hit in the corner that sent that game into overtime that they won. So listen, both of these guys have gone up against each other before in the finals, and they're both, like, you can make an argument for both sides. But the way they try to paint it is that Kawhi Leonard is like a nobody, and he shouldn't even be mentioned in the breath with some of the greatest players of all time. That's why I take issues with some of the things that they say. Now, I remember last season when the Clippers blew that 3-1 lead to the Denver Nuggets, and Shannon Sharpe came on TV the next day. He was going off. That video, I think, got like over 1 million views. You guys can go and search it. It's one of their most watched videos. And in that video, Shannon Sharpe said something where he said, this was the biggest choke job in NBA history. Hold up. Wait a minute. What happened to the 2011 NBA Finals? Did that not happen? Was that Miami Heat, a Miami Heat team not stacked against the Dallas Mavericks? Jason Terry was going at Shannon Sharpe's favorite player of all time, talking Jason Terry. Where have you ever seen anywhere a player of the caliber of Jason Terry talking smack to Michael Jordan or Kobe Bryant or Kawhi Leonard? So when he said that, I knew that he was just trying to do his best to really stick it to Kawhi, because that you could see that day he was speaking with so much passion and anger. And I was like, whoa, what is going on here? This is looking like it's beyond sports. That's when I realized that these guys were really threatened. Then he came and said, after the Lakers won the finals, that now AD is the second best player in the world. That's what Shannon Sharpe said. He said that Anthony Davis is the second best player in the world. Now, anybody watching this video knows that AD is not the second best player in the world. We all know this. If he was the second best player in the world, if according to Shannon Sharpe, his New Orleans Pelicans team should have been able to go further in those playoff rounds for all those years he was there. How can you be the second best player in the world? You can't get your team out the first or second round. How? How's this? How were you the second best player in the world? How? KD could do it. Kawhi Leonard did it 2 years prior. So how is it all of a sudden Giannis Antetokounmpo could do it? AD never did it. So all of a sudden, how did he become the second best player in the world? So those are some of the things that they were trying to do. And basically, they're just trying to shape the perception of the public. The more you don't mention Kawhi, the better it is for them. You try to put other players in between him, between LeBron and Kawhi, it makes Kawhi Leonard look further away, which was one of the things that Nick Wright did when he did a tier system. He did like some kind of tier on his show, one very stupid tier. And in this tier, I think he had like LeBron at number 1. Then he had Kevin Durant and Luka Doncic. And then in the third tier, that's where he put LeBron James. Who does this? Only Nick Wright would do something like that. Just again, because remember, he's on a huge platform, and they're trying to shape the opinions of people. They want to make people perceive him as being lesser than he is, which was something that media did wonderfully when Kobe Bryant retired. The media, they worked wonders to convince people that Kobe Bryant, although he was a top 10 NBA player, but he was in the bottom half, not in the top 5. They did that masterfully. And if you ask most sports fans, they'll tell you, oh, no, Kobe was like number 8, number 9. That's what they believe. They don't know that Kobe was better than all them dudes that they liked. He was better than all of them. And if you go, I mean, this is not like my opinion. This is the reality. Go hunt down videos of LeBron talking about Kobe. You say he's the best player he's the best player in our league. Multiple times. Go show me the video where Kobe said somebody was better than him, except when he said Jordan and I think Wilt. Even Kobe ranked him. So he said, I'm number 3. And he said he put Jordan number 1 and Wilt Chamberlain number 2. So that's the stuff the media don't want you to know. The only people that will tell you the honest to God truth about Kobe are former NBA players, because they have no agenda. They played the sport, and they know a lot more about basketball than we do because they played the sport. They always rank Kobe, gave him this proper ranking. Just go look at other players. Look at KD and all. Go see where they rank Kobe. Look at Kyrie. Just look at all of them. It's only these media people, they try to spew out a different argument, and fans believe it because they watch these guys. So that's the thing that these guys have been doing. Now, this year, they've been completely wrong about the Clippers. First of all, the Clippers are better than they were last year. I think all of us know that the Clippers are a better basketball team this year than they were last year. Just go look at the additions. Go look at the addition of Serge Ibaka, replacing him with Montrezl Harrell. With that move alone, they already got better. With that one move alone, they already got better. You replace Serge, a guy that can pick and pop, pick and roll, hit threes, play defense, block shots, plays the center position, with a guy that was a former sixth man of the year, but it was an undersized power forward that couldn't really guard guys. They got better there. And with the addition of Nicholas Batum. Nicholas Batum is a glue guy that plays defense, rebounds, passes the ball very well, and just makes an offense run better and puts guys in the most optimal position to score, but is also a knockdown three-point shooter that stretches the floor. The Clippers got better. Putting Marcus Morris Sr. to the bench, they got deeper, although you lost Montrez, but again, you had an upgrade in Serge Ibaka. So the Clippers are a better team. And now you hear Shannon Sharpe talking a little bit differently about the Clippers this season because he knows that they're a good team. Now all of a sudden Nick Wright is like, no, Kawhi is having a good season. But again, just to try to downplay the guy and belittle the guy, he goes, yeah, Kawhi Leonard would definitely be in the MVP discussions had he not missed so many games, right? He's missed too many games to be in the MVP discussion. He's missed 7 games, forgetting the fact that Joel Embiid, who a lot of people have ranked number 1, has missed the exact amount of games as Kawhi Leonard. They will never say that. They're never going to give him his props, no matter what happens. The only way these guys are giving their props is if they go out there, beat the Lakers, and win the title in like 4 games. And they'll say, oh, wow, he was really good. And then the next day, they'll be telling you, oh, they'll be giving you all the reasons why they won and this could have happened and this and this and this could have happened. That's what they've done. But so far this season, they know that the Clippers are on a mission. They know that Kawhi Leonard is on a mission. They know that they've heard all of the chatter, especially from those two guys. And so far, I think they've been wrong. So what I want to know from you guys is, do you think Nick Wright and Shannon Sharpe have been wrong about Kawhi Leonard so far? And ultimately, do you think Kawhi is going to get the last laugh, or do you think that Nick Wright and Shannon Sharpe are going to get the last laugh? Whatever you guys think, please leave your thoughts and comments in the comment section below. Again, if you enjoyed the video, be sure to go ahead and hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell to be notified whenever we drop our content. Also, if you enjoyed this video, be sure to check out the next video that we have coming up on the channel. Once again, this is Charles here from Dreamerspro, wishing you guys an amazing day and catch you guys on the next episode. Peace.